I've never been a procrastinator. I've always been one to get things done, more leaning on to my dad's nature, about getting things done no matter how much work or energy it requires. I never really procrastinated until this year. And I really didn't understand, and I couldn't figure out how it got to this place where I could just sit and do nothing at all and did not feel guilty about it until the end of the day when I realized, wow, I just spent 12 hours doing nothing at all. Not 12 hours, it's more than that. But I don't want to do the math right now. And I wasn't always like that. And I had to do a lot of thinking last week about it. And I realized two things. The first was how my motivation in life did die. The motivation in life died between last November and this February, because I was like in a really dark depression, and like probably the darkest I've ever had, and pretty much all of that stuff died off. I stopped studying theology so much. I stopped trying to get in debates with people or theological discussions, that sounds better. And I stopped reading, which was really bad. And I stopped writing so much. And ever since then, I couldn't really get up after all of that. And now that I'm trying to get all of that back, it's really hard. And in the last few months, when I've tried to do that, I've only done it for like a few days, and I haven't gotten that much done this year. And realizing how much that depression affected me is terrible, and it's both depressing, and I wish I could change it. I wish I could get it all back. But just knowing how I did become this way, be a procrastinator and stuff, it's kind of convicting and makes me all the more want to get out of this, I don't know what you call it, ditch or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, anyways, the second one is I remember what inspired me last year to go on with life and do the things I want to do, that I love to do. One person who inspired me to continue on is probably like one of the most inspiring people that I've ever met in my life. And his name is Jeff, and he's a drummer in a band called Of Verona, and if you have not checked it out, you totally need to, because it's fantastic. And if you don't think they are, then you're just weird. And yeah, anyways, he's like super inspiring, and we used to talk a lot, but then life got busy, and we haven't talked that much. We still hang out, but not as much anymore. And Jeff's words mean a lot to me. What he says really counts in my mind, because he is doing what he wants to do in life. He's going and doing music stuff. He's in a band. He's on his way to getting that big break, you know? And you know what's funny? He was a homeschooler. People always just say that homeschoolers can't make anything of themselves, or they're not really going to get anywhere in life because they live in the woods and all of that jazz. You know what I'm talking about. And he didn't go and spend 4 years of his life in college to get where he is right now. Didn't do any of that. And I'm not on that path of going to college. And I'm a homeschooler who everybody doesn't think that I can do anything. And most of it is true. But yeah, I just, from seeing that we've kind of taking the same somewhat path, I guess, it's more encouraging to know that somebody is living what he wants to do and is on the way of completing his dreams, and that it is possible even when you're a homeschooler and don't go to college. That's awesome. That's like, it's so inspiring, and what he says really counts in my book. And there's two things that stayed with me from all of our conversations, many long conversations, and the first one was that he kept telling me over and over again when we talked about theology or writing or doing what you want to do in life. He told me not to waste my time and procrastinate and stuff because I'm not going to get anywhere, and if I want to get somewhere in life, I have to start now. And that's what I want to do in life might require a lot of time and energy, and might require everything, depending on what it is. And I might as well start now because right now I have more time in my life than I ever will. Even more time right now than I will in a year, or in 6 months, or a few months actually. And he told me not to waste it, because that's easy to do when you're a teenager. And yeah, that has always stuck with me. The thing that hurts, the second thing that has stuck with me for a really long time, and this one hurts to say, because I look at, after a few months later, after he told me this, everything just went down the drain. And the second thing was that he told me that my determination for writing when he talked to me, right then, that's what would carry me far as a writer. That very motivation that I had. And I lost that in depression. He killed it. And it's gone now. And I hate that. And remembering all of the things he said to me about that, about not wasting my life, wasting my time, convicted me last week. And it really made me want to change. And I'm not a procrastinator. I've never really been that. Well, I haven't been, and I never really leaned toward that until this year. I didn't know what else to do with my life. It's just, and it doesn't help that most of my friends, okay, pretty much all my friends except like the adults, okay, most of the adults, are like procrastinating and stuff, and they think it's the best thing ever. And apparently it's like the new cool thing to do. All the cool people are doing it. I don't think it is. It's terrible. I don't get what's so great about it. And I don't want to do that anymore. I'm sick of it. And I want things to happen in my life. I don't want things to slip away, and I feel like writing is slipping away from me. And I miss writing. And I miss reading. I miss all of that stuff I used to do so easily and get done. I don't want to waste my life. I don't want to procrastinate anymore. And I have to start now if I want things to happen in my life. And I can't let time slip away like I have let it. And so that's just all the things going through my mind this week of my own personal